Hey everybody, this is John Haas, founder of Warrior Fitness Training Systems. I want to welcome you to the webinar on living the warrior life. The webinar will start in just a few moments, but before we begin, I'd like to ask you to pull up a chair, grab yourself a drink, silence your cell phone, close out any other pages that you're browsing, tune in, and get ready for an experience. In today's webinar, there are three specific areas that I want to cover, and I also want to invite you to stick around with me till the end of the webinar because I've got something super awesome to share with you, and I promise it will be worth it. Now, today, I want to cover the role of the warrior in society and why functional training, even though it seems to be an overused and very new style of training concept, it is actually the oldest method of training the body. Then we're going to cover living the warrior life and how it can help you live a happy, healthy, and strong life no matter who you are. And this is critical to our presentation today. It doesn't matter who you are, living the warrior life will help you to fulfill your potential. And lastly, I want to cover the three critical components of a highly effective fitness program. And I'm going to tell you right now, most programs miss number three, and that's a big miss. And additionally, there is the magical fourth ingredient, which ties them all together seamlessly. So we'll cover that as well. Before we get into the presentation, I want to back up a little bit and tell you a little bit about who I am, my background, my origin story, as it were, how I went from desk jockey to warrior coach, and how I found what my true purpose actually was. But even before that, I was never what you would call a natural athlete growing up. In fact, I kind of sucked at every sport I tried. Baseball, basketball, soccer, kickball, tennis, you name it, I sucked at it. To make things worse, I was also a ridiculously shy and introverted kid. So that combination, on top of having little to no athletic skill, made things even worse. In fact, my parents always tell a funny story of I was so shy when I was a kid that I had to have, in order to go into a store to pick up something for my mom, I had to have my little brother come in and stand next to me and tell the clerk what I wanted. That's pathetically embarrassing. As you can see now, I've gotten over that, talking to several thousand people on a webinar, so I'm much more comfortable in my own skin. But the one area of physical culture that always captivated me was martial arts. And I first began Taekwondo in third grade, and I found, funnily enough, that I actually did have some level of natural ability to perform the kata and the techniques. But in the fitness part, it was always difficult for me. I was always sucking wind. I was always, the last one done at push-ups. I wasn't really doing well in the fitness part. But hey, I could do the kata. And, it gave me a small measure of confidence that I was good at the technique. So to me, that kind of made up for my lack of any degree of fitness and athleticism. In my immature mind, it was perfectly acceptable not to be fit or athletic because, hey, I had deadly skills, right? Ay, ay, ay. In my freshman year of high school, I decided I should go out for the cross country team. I mean, all the pretty girls were on the team, so hey, why not? I mean, how hard could it be? It's just running, right? So it turned out that I actually sucked at running too. I ended up injuring myself the first week, and then I allowed that injury, even after it had healed, to be an excuse as to why I always lagged behind on the practice runs and why I was never quite able to finish the course. The coach tried to give me a kick in the butt, and he basically told me to suck it up and get going. But of course, being young and stupid, I thought he was a bully, and I thought he was an idiot because apparently at 16 I knew everything. What 16-year-old doesn't? But I decided, hey, I'm going to show this knucklehead, and I quit. Yeah, that showed him. But hey, I was the damn Karate Kid. What the hell did I need running for, right? This is embarrassing just talking about it. So next, I tried my hand at wrestling. I figured, hey, here's a sport that I could succeed at. It's combative. However, wrong again. Nothing in my karate training background prepared me for the rigors of freshman high school wrestling conditioning. So rather than embracing the suck and putting in the work that was required for me to become physically prepared, you guessed it, I quit again. So once again, my ego consoled me. I had karate skills, plus I had just started training in the ancient Japanese art of ninjutsu. Who needed athletics anyway? Or so I thought. However, it wasn't until college that I began to actually take my fitness semi-seriously, mostly thanks to my crazy bodybuilder roommate Chris and my other great friend Jason, who was on the college swim team. I began to train regularly. So running, lifting, and martial arts became part of my daily, weekly rhythm during college. Then after college, I started working at real jobs in corporate America, training in martial arts, Bujinkan Budo Taijutsu twice a week, and also teaching once a week, starting a family, and began to get into these unconventional fitness methods. So by around 2000, I was training all sorts of body weight exercises. I was training Russian Sistema. I bought my first kettlebell in 2001. I was hooked. In 2004, I became certified as a circular strength training coach under Scott Sunnan and officially kicked off my fitness teaching career. As I said, I was working in corporate America at that time, so I was 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, riding the desk, but on the weekends, I was teaching martial arts and training people in fitness. And, the warrior fitness, as it began to exist today, started way back in 2008 with the publication of my first book, Warrior Fitness, Conditioning for Martial Arts. So now, after many years of dedicated, consistent, hard training, study, practice, learning, and working, I finally now consider myself an athlete. I am strong, coordinated, conditioned, agile, mobile, and hostile. Well, maybe not hostile. I'm kind of nice. But also, my journey to a natural athlete took a long time, and it took me years of study, years of training, and years of figuring it out. Now, how did I get from riding the desk to becoming a full-time warrior coach? That is another story, and that began in 2009. And in 2009, I clearly remember it. It was a Thursday. It was in November, and it was about 9:30 in the morning. And I was sitting in my car in the Barnes & Noble parking lot because, hey, where else do you go when you're depressed? Barnes & Noble, right? And the reason that I was sitting in my car at 9:30 on a Thursday was I had just gotten fired. I was laid off from my job, and I had no idea what I was going to do. I was distraught. I was depressed. I was afraid to tell my family. I was afraid of how I was, going to provide for my family. I was afraid to tell my parents. I was ashamed. And I didn't know what to do, so I sat in my car. And I remember it was a cold day. I had the window open. The car was off, just sitting there, staring into space. Didn't even go into B&N for a cup of coffee. That's how upset I was. And I thought, hey, what the hell am I going to do? I had at that time spent 15 years working in corporate America, working in financial services, working for banks, working for insurance companies. I even did a stint as a financial services consultant for a Big Four accounting firm. And at that time, I could not I could not bring myself to want to do any of that again. I was searching and I was lost. So as I sat there, I tried to figure out what am I, what am I passionate about? Let's look at this being fired as an opportunity to start over and really get into what is it that I truly want to do? What's my passion? What is my purpose? And as I sat there, it came to me really crystal clear that my greatest love was teaching, was training, was giving people the tools, the strategies, the coaching that they needed to become the strongest, most capable versions of themselves, whether they were martial artists or whether they were regular people or whether they were athletes. It didn't matter as long as they wanted to train like a warrior. And as I sat there, I began to realize that, hey, this is what I'm meant to do, that I need to take that book that I had written and really start start sharing it, start living it, and start teaching it. And there in that car became the birth of what is today known as the Warrior Fitness Training System, and me becoming the Warrior Coach. So, as I said, I've founded the Warrior Fitness Training Systems. I wrote the book, Warrior Fitness Conditioning for Martial Arts. I've been training in the martial arts for over 34 years. I'm a ninth Dan in Bujinkan Budo Taijutsu. I am a certified underground strength coach, level 2, under an awesome coach, Zach Ebenesh. And I am also a certified personal trainer. So that is my background. That is the origin story of how I went from an unnatural athlete and a desk jockey to becoming the warrior coach, talking to you here today. Okay, so let's get into the presentation. What is the role of the warrior in society, and why is it still relevant for us today? Now, way back in prehistoric times, you have to imagine, life was, as Thomas Hobbes once said, nasty, brutish, and short. Basically meaning that everything could potentially kill you. A cut, an injury, an infection, the wrong plant, spoiled meat, an insect, a wild animal, and most especially the most dangerous predator of all, another human being. So it was this omnipresent threat of death by fellow human beings that provided the impetus for the birth of the warrior class in ancient tribes. The warrior had a vital role in a prehistoric tribe. His job was to protect and defend the people, and in also many cases proactively and aggressively engage enemy tribes and wage war. The role of the warrior was basically to do all that he could to ensure the survival of his tribe and the continuity of his people. So this, along with the hunter, was a prominent and extremely vital role in society. So necessity, they say, is the mother of invention, and what was more necessary and prized for survival than a highly skilled warrior, than being a highly skilled warrior, especially living at a time when certain death lurked around every corner of the ancient world. And because these skills were so essential to survival, the warrior class, they needed a way to hone them and to perfect them in a real and practical manner without killing one another, at least not on purpose. Thus, tribal games and eventually more formalized games, like the original Greek Olympics, were created to practice the skills of the warrior so that they could hone these skills without actually having to go to war. So what I'm saying here is that the original purpose of sports, aside from fun and entertainment and a distraction, was preparation for war. Think about it. Boxing, wrestling, javelin throwing, sprinting, discus, endurance running, equestrian, feats of strength, tests of agility, team competitions. All of these things were specific physical preparation for combat, for war. What does that mean for us today? Why is this relevant? Who cares? You know, what is the fact that a warrior thousands of years ago engaged in some discus throwing? How does that help us today? How is that relevant to us today? And here's the point. The training methodologies that were developed and passed down by these warriors um, were the ultimate in what we today call functional strength training. Certainly, what could be more functional than specific exercises and training methodologies designed to excel and survive in mortal combat? What greater motivation do you have for creating exercises and techniques and strategies than survival, right? So these methods are still around today. They are the province of a rare breed of modern warriors, martial artists, strongmen, and strength coaches. And like the tempered steel of the warrior's blade, the art of functional strength training has been forged over centuries by the fires of preparation for life and death combat. These skills are extremely relevant and useful for us today, just as they were thousands of years ago. Not because people are trying to kill us on a daily basis, but because almost the opposite. Our comfortable lifestyle, the ease with which we live, has made us soft. And this now poses the greatest threat, the greatest danger to our health and to our lives. The danger of inactivity, the danger of sitting too much, the danger of heart disease, the danger of diabetes, all of these diseases of civilization can be overcome and can be managed with exercise, with nutrition, with specific strategies. And these exercises that were designed for honing the warrior's edge in mortal combat are now extremely, extremely practical and useful to build real-world three-dimensional strength, powerful, pain-free movement, torch body fat, and provide us with energy and endurance and power to fulfill our life's purpose. To me, fitness has a higher purpose than just the external. I think that, looking good is awesome, and I'm all for looking good. I'm all for looking fit and healthy. I'm all for six-pack abs. Those are fantastic, but fitness must have a higher purpose. I think that, once you get those things, that external look, then what? What's next? We have to have strength. It must be used to not used to intimidate, but to motivate, to inspire, and to protect. In the beginning of the 20th century, a guy named Georges Herbert, who was the creator of the Method Naturale, excuse me for butchering French, but he wrote, you have to be strong to be useful. And those of us who walk this path of strength and fitness have a duty to use that strength to help others, to defend and protect those who are weaker, and to become the strongest, most capable versions of ourselves, to lift up others, to inspire others, and to build up our society, to set the example for our children. And I'm a superhero fan, and as Spider-Man once said, with great power comes great responsibility. So to me, strength must have a higher purpose. So within our training, we must learn how to free our minds, to awaken our spirits, and train our bodies like a savage in order to become fully actualized human beings who are honestly stronger every day. That's the purpose of fitness. In the beginning of the presentation, I told you that living the warrior life would help you to become happy, healthy, and stronger no matter who you are. And that is absolutely true. The warrior fitness is training for the total human being. And the reason that I say that is that warrior fitness is a product of decades of training in the martial arts and the art of strength. In its simplest form, it's a distilled and synthesized blend of the very best training methodologies for becoming a fitness renaissance man or woman. Due to its synergistic nature, the seamless, integrated whole of the system is vastly superior and greater than the sum of its parts. So in short, what I mean is that Warrior Fitness is a one-stop shop for building a better human, physically stronger, tougher, resistant to failure, more enduring, more flexible, mobile, and extremely capable. The warrior is mentally tough and greater than just a robustness or a resilience. The warrior fitness training system is a portal to becoming anti-fragile. This system allows the practitioner to minimize training time while maximizing training effects. And those are the results. Okay, so what are the three critical components of a highly successful and organized training program? Component number one is functional strength training. And we've been over this, we just talked about it, why is functional strength so necessary? Why is it important? What's it going to do for us? But let's dial it in even a little bit more and get kind of specific on this. So functional strength training is going to develop multiplanar strength that increases stability, enhances injury prevention, multiplies force production, and the force production ability, and it stimulates neuromuscular patterns that are required in martial arts, in athletics, and life. Okay? So this type of training is going to, as I said earlier, build a solid base of real world strength. And what do I mean by real world strength? In today's day and age, most people who go to the gym, they train on machines. And, I can't tell you how many clients that I've had who had trained, done machine-based training, mostly machine-based training in the past, and then started training with me. And suddenly they were like, their entire world opened up. Like, oh my God, I never knew that I could get such amazing results not using machines. I never knew that free weight training and kettlebells and body weight exercise was so beneficial and could be so good for me, could feel so good and give me such strength, such, burn fat and help me feel amazing. And just to be clear, I don't recommend using machines to exercise ever. Why? They restrict your body's true range of motion to one dimension and completely obviate any need for stabilizer, postural, or core muscles to activate at all. Combine that with the fact that absolutely nothing in martial art, in sport, or real life happens in isolation or in one dimension. And you start to see how disintegrating your body via machine-based training is a recipe for disaster. If you want to look like, Frankenstein, then, like your body is built out of a set of disparate parts and also have zero ability to function as a cohesive unit, then, by all means, exit the presentation and enjoy your machine-based training. Otherwise, stick with me, kids, and we will learn how to perform with integrated whole body strength, fluidity, grace, and confidence. Powerful movement. All right, so that is why functional strength training. Now, the other part of this component, number one, is incremental functional strength training and strength training that is programmed to get you to a specific result and to avoid a plateau. So there are two problems that I see in most training programs out there today. Problem number one is, you've got people who are following the same workout program that they've done since 1982. And, funnily enough, they're not getting any results. They have not changed at all since 1982, and they are probably getting worse in terms of their health and in terms of their physical abilities. Because honestly, people will tell you, oh, I just do it to maintain. But to be honest, there is no such thing as maintaining. You are either getting better or you're getting worse. Okay? So maintaining is a myth. That does not happen. So that's one problem. And then the complete opposite is the second problem, where you have people who probably as a backlash to this idea of always doing the same workout, you've got people who never do the same workout and they're constantly changing their program, changing their exercises, changing their workouts in the hopes that they're quote unquote preparing for everything. But the problem with that is that random acts of exercise get you random results. So in our program, we want to make sure that we have a progression and that we have a way to avoid plateaus and that we are training on a consistent basis to get you the most results possible in the shortest amount of time. So that's component number one. Component number two is cutting edge recovery strategies. And this is what most people miss in their training. Most people are so involved in doing more, adding more to their program, adding more weight, adding more reps, adding more, etc., that they neglect the fact that there are two ways of becoming stronger. There are two main methods. And the first one is, yes, adding those driving forces. So adding more weight, increasing the sophistication of the exercises, adding more reps, doing it faster. All those things are absolutely essential, but there is the other side of the coin, the yin side of strength, so to speak, and that is the subtraction of restrictive forces. So when most people are training for strength, they're only focusing on the yang, right? The addition of driving forces, but it only gets you so far. It's kind of like driving your car around all day with the emergency brake on. You can still get to where you need to go, but that extra unnecessary drag is killing the car's performance and guzzling gas, consuming energy, right? So residual muscle tension is the continuous, it's a passive partial contraction of muscles in your body that aids in posture and support. So it's necessary, but any type of working out, strength training, also stress, fear, trauma, all those things are going to cause a spike in that residual muscle tension. And it's going to cause an unwanted and unnecessary increase in the normal tonus of the body. Now, and the problem is that most of the time this extra tension goes unnoticed, or it's kind of deemed acceptable as a natural side effect of living. Your neck hurts, your back hurts, your shoulders hurt, there's too much tension, it causes pain. But hey, pop an aspirin, you're good to go. The problem one of the problems with the added tension is that the continuous contraction, unnecessary contraction of these muscles throughout the day, every day, is using up energy. Energy that, can and should be available to us is being siphoned off to hold those contractions, and it's putting the brakes on our performance. So rather than increasing our energy and freeing our movement and allowing us access to our full strength potential as human beings, the constant focus on just adding the driving forces is literally making us muscle bound. So what we need are recovery strategies. We need the yin of strength. And the yin of strength is how we strategically and systematically remove those restrictive forces to reveal our true absolute strength potential as human beings. So some of the cutting edge strategies are mobility training, which is going to open up your range of motion and is going to help remove residual tension. Stretching, which is going to act as compensatory movement. So, whether you're sitting too much and your shoulders are slumped forward and your neck is transposed forward from sitting too much, you need to pull the body back and straighten it out. Or if you focus too much on, say, doing something like a bench press and you've got overdeveloped pecs and underdeveloped legs, you've got to balance those things out. So stretching is going to act as compensatory movement for whatever you're doing. Then you've got vibration training, which is going to help you to literally shake out the tension in the muscles. And there are specific exercises that do that. Performance-based nutrition and supplementation, as well as hydration and sleep. That's very key strategy. Breathing exercises, and as well as qigong work, energy work, flow work, and stuff like contrast bathing and cold exposure. All those things are recovery strategies that should be a regular part of your training program to help you get the full potential of your program, of building your strength and your health. Okay? And the third critical component, which I alluded to in the recovery strategies, is performance-based nutrition. Most people, I have a funny story. I was at the gym and I said hi to this woman, and I said, "Hey, how's your training going?" And she looks at me with this disgusted look on her face, a frown, and really, upset. And she's like, "Ugh, I hate this stuff. All I have every time I eat a freaking cookie, I've got to think about doing this crap." And I was like, "Ooh, well, all right. I, uh, I I eat cookies, and I enjoy my cookies, but I don't eat cookies every day." And performance-based nutrition is kind of teaching you to look at your nutrition on a weekly basis and make sure that 80% of that is good healthy choices, and that you've got a little bit where you can kind of say, okay, you know what, I'm gonna have a cookie today and I'm not gonna feel bad about it, or I eat a slice of pizza and I'm not gonna feel bad about it, because you know that the majority of your week has consisted of good, correct choices, and the type of food that you eat, the nutrition is fueling your body properly, but also helping you to burn fat, to build muscle, and to increase energy. So those are some of the components of performance-based nutrition. And then lastly, I include component number 4 as the philosophy that underpins all of this and ties it together into a cohesive training strategy. As I said, it's the warrior philosophy that underpins and ties the entire system together into a cohesive unit. And philosophy is, you know, it's not just something to think about or read about or discuss in the hallowed halls of academia or in the hallowed halls of the pub after several rounds of drinks. But philosophy really is something that must be lived. It must be impactful. It must be something that you take action on. And as warriors, I'm convinced that we must all live this philosophy, the virtue of excellence, in order to have a full, complete, productive, and happy life, and to be of service to others, how fitness has a higher purpose. The most talked about value in Greek culture is arete, and it's translated as virtue, but this word actually means something closer to being the best you can be, or reaching your highest human potential. And this is our daily struggle, and our goal as warriors is to reach our highest human potential. The funny thing about excellence is that you can never achieve it and be done with it. It's not a plaque or a certificate or a box that you check off. It's something that you must constantly strive to do, to strive to be in a state of excellence every day, pushing higher and higher and becoming better and better. So the man or woman of arete is a person of high effectiveness. They utilize all of their faculties, their strength, their bravery, their wit, their all of their abilities to achieve real results. And since we're talking warrior philosophy is something that is extremely and firmly grounded in the physical. In fact, I often argue, I often say that martial art, that physical culture, any type of physical training really is a microcosm of the macrocosm of life. And it is this philosophy, this physicality and this physical philosophy that has basically allowed me personally to weather any storm in my life, to go through and to triumph over adversity, no matter what's happened in my life. It's a philosophy that has helped me to resist failure, to keep going, to stay strong even through my darkest days and through the most ferocious and adverse conditions of my life. some of those things that I actually wasn't going to talk about, but this conversation brings them up is the fact that I lost a business, that I was on the verge of financial ruin, that I almost, a few years ago, almost declared bankruptcy. And at the time, same time, was going through a heartbreaking and painful divorce. And people always said to me, like, my God, how can you how can you still smile? How can you still get out of bed? How can you still train? And why are you not depressed? Why are you not um, suicidal? Why are you not, you know, drinking yourself to death? Why are you still able to keep going? Why are you so grounded? And when I look back through those times, I was, it was hard and I was depressed and I was, it was very difficult and it was very um, hard to overcome. But I believe that the philosophy, the training that I had, helped me and inspired me and gave me the ability to weather those things and to keep a, perspective that this too shall pass, right? No matter how dark the night is, there is always day. There's always light, and we all go through these dark times, everyone has them. Doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter how successful you are, how great you are, or how, what your status is in life. We all go through dark times. The sun set on all of us last night, and it'll do the same thing again tonight. Um, there's a funny story about two salesmen who have the same territory, right? And the the first salesman, he wakes up and he looks outside and it's storming, it's raining, it's cold, it's, horrible, horrible weather. And he goes, oh, God, with weather like this, why should I get out of bed? Nobody's going to be out. I'm not going to make any sales. Forget it. I'm just going to stay home. So he stays home. Second salesman, same territory, same weather, looks out the window and goes, oh my God, look at this weather. What a great day to make sales. Everybody's going to be home, especially the other salesman. So, it's all about perspective. It's all about how you look at it. And, there's a quote that says, happiness is waiting in front of you. Only you can choose whether to accept that or not. And I think that's extremely true. It's not that we must wait for a certain condition to be fulfilled in our lives before we can be happy. It's that we must choose to be happy whenever we want. So this, this type of philosophy is as I said, begins in the physical. It begins in the training, and it becomes something that inspires and influences your entire life, your entire outlook, to be able to overcome adversity, to be able to weather storms, to be able to keep going no matter what, and to be able to smile and choose to be happy. So, Miyamoto Musashi, um, Japan's most famous swordsman, the guy who wrote A Book of Five Rings, he said, from one thing, you must know 10,000 things. And that's exactly what this is. From that one thing, this physical training, you know 10,000 things. So that's why the philosophy is so critical. That's how this underpins and holds everything together. So warrior philosophy, a extremely critical component throughout the entire program. Okay, guys, so here is the super exciting announcement that I alluded to at the beginning of the presentation. And, over the years, I've been extremely fortunate and blessed to have been able to touch the lives of hundreds, if not thousands, of people all over the world through my daily emails that I write, through the articles that I share on my blog and social media, through the videos that I create on my YouTube channel, and of course, through the Warrior Fitness programs that I have developed and created over the years. I've been able to help hundreds of people become stronger, become healthier, lose weight, become fitter, increase their performance in sport and martial art, and all sorts of things. But what I've found is that where I have made the most impact and where I personally am most passionate and where the people that I'm working with get the most profound and lasting transformations is in my one-on-one coaching programs, where I'm able to work with them one-on-one to guide them in their journey to becoming stronger, fitter, leaner, healthier, the most capable versions of themselves. So this is why I'm introducing the Warrior Success System. And this is actually a refinement, a distillation of over a decade's worth of teaching, training, and coaching. The Warrior Success System is a proven, results-driven method that was refined with over a decade's worth of intense practice and in the trenches coaching of both men and women of all levels of ability and from all walks of life. So you may be surprised to learn that a lot of my clients, a lot of my students are not martial artists. And this system works for everyone, no matter who you are. If you have the desire to become better, if you have the desire to train like a warrior to get results, if you're sick of boring mainstream fitness and you want to go unconventional and train real world functional strength and conditioning, if you want powerful, pain-free movement, you want to walk with confidence, and you want to have the strength and the endurance to get through anything that life throws at you, then this is the system for you. So the elements of the program, what I'm doing is I am working with people one-on-one, and I am designing a comprehensive 3-month training program based on your specific goals and needs. So you will get a complete Warrior Functional Strength workout plan. You will get the complete recovery system, and you will get the complete performance nutrition plan along with the entire Warrior philosophy that underpins it and holds it together and is woven throughout all of the training that I do. So this is one-on-one coaching. This is not a cookie cutter program. This is something that I am going to review your goals, your needs, and design it specifically for you. So we will have weekly status updates throughout the duration of your program. You have 24/7 email access to me for any questions, for any changes, for any modifications. And we will update your program every month. So this is not a one and done program. This is a program that evolves and changes with you as your skills and your performance change as you evolve as a warrior. This program will keep up with you and constantly push you, challenge you, and get you to the next level always. More specifically, the Warrior Success System includes powerful workouts to transform your body. I will give you step-by-step workout guides and video instruction showing you exactly how to perform every exercise correctly and effectively to build super strong, lean, functional muscle and burn fat at the same time. I will guide you throughout the program in Warrior Performance Nutrition. You'll learn how to eat to burn fat and build whole body lean muscle, dramatically increasing your health and your energy. There's no counting calories, and you will put your fat burning and muscle building on autopilot. Additionally, of course, the Warrior's Mindset, the mental training tools you need to build a positively unbeatable mind. And as always, cutting edge recovery techniques, comprehensive recovery techniques and tactics, combining the best of flexibility, mobility, breathing exercises, and all that we had discussed previously to make sure that you are moving pain-free and keeping all of your gains coming with no plateaus. Now, I will be the first one to tell you that this program is not for everyone. But let's talk about who this is for. All right? This program is for the dad who wants to be in the best shape of his life in order to play with his kids and set an example of a healthy lifestyle that they will carry with them for the rest of their lives. It's for the mom who, after a long day of work, wants to de-stress with a brief but intense workout that won't leave her exhausted. It's for the businessman or woman who finds their waistline expanding, their health lacking, their muscles sagging, and wants to do something about it. It's for the performer who needs to control her breathing and nervousness before getting on a stage. It's for the amateur athlete or the weekend warrior who realizes that the daily aches and pains are getting worse as they get older and want to be healthier, stronger, and more capable as they get older instead. It's for regular people who have lives, families, and other hobbies and don't want to spend all day at the gym, yet are ready for something more than just an ordinary workout. It's for the unconventional fitness enthusiast who doesn't like the global gym scene and is looking for a low-tech, high-yield approach to fitness. It's for the fitness nut who's tired of the same old treadmill and is looking for something extraordinary. And of course, it's for the martial artist who wants to get back in fighting fit shape while enhancing their own martial arts effectiveness and increasing how efficiently they move. Who's it for? It's for you. Here's what some of my clients have to say about training with me. Are you tired of not being able to move freely? Are you tired of having a big belly and not looking as fit as you want to be? Do you want to be better? Do you want the credit for making yourself better? Do you know that you can be a hero to yourself and your family? Do you realize that being a fit parent makes your children proud of you and in turn a better parent and better person? Do you realize that the smile you see on your face was put there by you because of all the work you did yourself to get there? Do you realize that deep within yourself there's a warrior that's waiting to be released? Come train with John Haas at Warrior Fitness and let him help you reveal the warrior in you. That's by John S., who is a Warrior Coaching Program member. John is one of the most knowledgeable teachers, coaches, trainers I know. I have no martial arts background, but he has decades of it. It was fascinating to hear him talk about program design, cueing, breath work, mobility, flexibility, strength training, etc. from his martial arts perspective. He shared copious amounts of relevant, well thought out information and kept it fun and engaging. Thank you, John Haas. And that's from Lynn, who is an ACE certified trainer, a yoga instructor, a cancer exercise specialist, senior fitness specialist. Lynn has got, more letters after her name than the alphabet. And she's also my client. Thank you, Lynn. Sergeant William Speck says, as a policeman for the last 20 years, I've always tried to maintain a warrior type lifestyle, physically and mentally. John's workouts, way of thinking, and training definitely reinforce these ideals. By practicing John's workouts, staying fit, and practicing martial arts, I feel I can be ready for whatever the job may bring. John's instruction and workouts help with strength, mobility, breathing like you wouldn't believe. I would recommend this class to anyone who has interest in being fit mentally and physically. Thanks again, John. And from Vaughn, who is the instructor of Bujinkan Virginia Budo. This program did wonders for me personally because it took my taijutsu, martial art, to another level and pushed me to new highs that I didn't know I had in me. As for my school, the benefits are now endless. The way John took his time to break down every exercise step by step and explain the benefits of the exercise and how it translates over to the dojo or the gym will help me to help my students with their taijutsu and strength training. John Haas, thank you for your time and patience and guidance and continued support in this wonderful program. I'm proud to be a certified fitness warrior. Awesome, Vaughn. Thank you. You probably don't want to hear me read any more testimonials, but I have put more of them down below underneath this video so that you can read them for yourself and see all of the people that have utilized the Warrior Fitness training system to become reveal their full potential and become the best version of themselves. So, frequently asked questions. What makes this program different? As I've said, this program is the product of over a decade of hands-on research and development. It's a proven system that's formatted individually to meet your specific needs and goals. And it evolves and changes with you as you increase in skill and performance. How much time is required for the workouts? Approximately 30 to 45 minutes, 3 times a week. Can I join this program if I am injured or have movement restrictions? Yes, but this is important. As long as you have permission from your doctor, physical therapist, or other medical professional stating that it's okay for you to exercise. What type of equipment is required? So the best part is that each program is built specifically around the equipment you have available. So, for example, kettlebells, barbells, sandbags, club bells, clubs, maces, dumbbells, body weight only, or hey, you've got access to a complete gym. So whatever equipment you have available is what I will use to design the program. Remember, it's adaptable, it's functional, and it can be done anywhere. That's one of the strengths of the program. And what if it doesn't work for me? It's a legitimate question. Well, I stand behind all of my programs and offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Quite simply, if you do the work, you will get the results. However, if for some reason you don't, or you don't like it, I will refund 100% of your investment, no questions asked. Okay, so now you are probably wondering, what's the investment? The Warrior Success System, as you know now, is a comprehensive 3-month coaching program where I design the program specific to you and your needs, and where you and I work together one-on-one to make sure that you are getting results. At the end of the day, that is what you're investing in. You are investing in yourself, your transformation, your results, so that when you look down the line 3 months from now and you visualize your outcome, that is what you're investing in. Your transformation, you putting in the work, following a proven step-by-step system, template for success, and you seeing yourself as that result, as that success, as that highest potential, as that version of yourself that you've always wanted to be. stronger, leaner, faster, more capable, healthier, pain-free, confident. Okay? So what is the investment? The investment was going to be $1,500 for this program, but I am calling this an action taker bonus, which means if you sign up now, the investment is only $997. Or if you, in order to make this available for everyone, I've included a payment plan. So there's 6 payments of just $187, and that is the investment in you. All right, are you ready to start? There's only 2 reasons why you're still watching this. Reason number 1, you're my mom. In which case, hi mom, thanks for watching. Reason number 2 is that you know that this is the coaching program for you and that I am the coach who will push you, motivate you, inspire you, and transform you into the strongest, fittest, leanest, healthiest, most capable version of yourself. Don't procrastinate. Don't add time to your decision-making process. Remember, the warrior is a man or woman of action. Wishy-washy, milquetoast decision-making is not a warrior characteristic. Rather, deciding means to cut off all other possibilities and move forward. I promise you that this will be the best decision you have ever made for your health and for your fitness. Click the button below and I will see you on the other side. You will no longer have to wonder how deep the rabbit hole goes.